Do hashtags actually work? How do you find the right hashtags to increase your reach? What are banned hashtags? While I have a love-hate relationship with hashtags, I am very excited to answer those questions and more right now. What's up everyone, it's Modern Millie. Welcome or welcome back to my channel where I post videos every Wednesday teaching you the latest strategies and trends on social media to help bloggers, influencers, and content creators grow their brands. So give a little love tap on that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest tips and tricks that I have for you. First, I want to say a huge thank you to this video's shoutouts. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So if you want to shout out in one of my future videos, screenshot yourself watching this video and tag me on Instagram stories, or leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. As always, timestamps will be in the comments down below because I value your time and you already know why you're here. So let's get into it. Hashtags can be an amazing tool on Instagram when they are used correctly. Ever since the US elections, hashtags on Instagram just haven't been working the same. It feels like creating a successful hashtag strategy is impossible or next to impossible. So to help take the stress off your shoulders, I am going to teach you what your hashtag strategy should be. Why should you even use hashtags? There are two main reasons that you should use hashtags. One of them you probably already know. The second one is not talked about enough. So number one, what you all already know, using hashtags can potentially increase your reach. Each hashtag is an avenue for people to find your content. They're a great way to be found by new people looking or using the hashtag that you're using. Number two, the lesser known reason is hashtags actually categorize your content. So using hashtags basically tells Instagram more about your content and how they can categorize you to push your content to the right people. So what is a good hashtag strategy to use then? If you're somebody who's done a lot of hashtag research, you have probably come across this strategy or strategy similar to this. Make sure to use all 30 hashtags. 10 of them should have less than 50,000 uses. Another 10 should have less than or between 50 and 100,000 uses. And then the last 10 should have under 500,000 uses. I feel like there's a lot of strategies out there that tell you to use a varying amount of hashtags, varying the amount of uses the hashtag has. Now raise your hand if you've heard a strategy like that. Put those hands up because I hear it everywhere. So while these strategies or those numbers that I said that kind of varies depending on where you're seeing this information from, there is one factor that is not considered. And that factor is how relevant the hashtag is right now. Because yeah, it might have 50,000 uses, not too many, not too little, but is it currently active? And that is how relevant is the hashtag right now. Yeah, it might have 50,000 uses, not too many, not too little, but is it currently active where you'll get the reach and activity that you want? Your strategy should include these two things: active hashtags and niche hashtags. Before I get into the nitty-gritty breaking down of what that means, I need to give credit to my new friends Matthew and Danica, founders of #Slayer app. No, this is not sponsored, but I wouldn't be able to make this video if I didn't have the opportunity to pick their brains on this topic. Almost all of the information that I'm sharing in this video and have shared this far is information that I've learned from them on their Instagram page and in their talks on Clubhouse. I do currently have an account on #Slayer's website that I pay for because I love it. So later in this video, I'll show you that. We'll talk about how their website can help you pick the right hashtags, but I wanted to start off by giving credit where it's due. So go give them a follow right now. Their handle on Instagram is at #Slayer app. And remember, I am just kind of regurgitating the knowledge that I learned from them. So I wanted to make sure to give them credit. You'll see a lot of really, really good stuff on their Instagram, probably way deeper and more well explained than this video. So give them a follow. Think about hashtag groupings as a river. The hashtag uses tells you how many boats have gone through the river all time, but they don't tell you how quickly the river is moving or how many boats are currently there. A quick way to check if the hashtag is a good fit for you is to look at the top 9 posts and pay attention to these 3 things. First, make sure that your photo has the same feel and vibes as those top posts. Second is to average the engagement on those posts. So take their all 9 posts, total number of likes and comments, and divide that by 9. If your engagement is equal to or higher than that number, that is a bullseye hashtag. Copyrighted saying from #Slayer app. I did not make that up, okay? Don't come at me. So yes, if your engagement is equal to or higher that average engagement, it is a bullseye hashtag for you to use. The third thing to pay attention to is make sure those top 9 posts aren't like months old. that might be a sign that the hashtag is not currently being used and is less active. Therefore, you might not get traction using that hashtag. Now, if that sounds like a little bit too much work or too much math for you, there is a quicker way to find active hashtags, and that's to use the hashtag Slayer app. The hashtags that they generate for you on their website show you how easy or difficult it would be to rank in the top post or get a lot of traction if you were to use that hashtag. So they rank them by easy to hard for you. Okay, now let's get into the second part of your strategy, which is the niche specific hashtags. This means that the hashtags that you're using should be very specific to your photo, caption, profile, very specific. Again, another time where niching down is a benefit to you. Let's just do an example of this. If you were to post a picture of yourself in Hawaii and giving like 5 best tips for Instagram hashtag strategy, stay away from irrelevant hashtags like hashtag Monday motivation, hashtag boss babe, hashtag travel lust. One of those might be irrelevant, but the other ones, while they might be relevant to the post a little bit, like travel lust, boss babe, they're not niche specific. They're not niched down enough to truly help that photo. Using more niche specific hashtags, you could use hashtag strategy, hashtag Instagram tips, hashtag Hawaii travel. So when you niche down the hashtags, you are niching down on explaining the photo type and the caption, what the caption is about, and your profile. So those are kind of like the 3 areas to niche down and ways to find hashtags. Okay, so like how do you find the niche hashtags? There are a few ways to find niche hashtags, and Instagram used to have a really great feature for this where you could like see relevant hashtags, similar hashtags, but they don't have that feature anymore. So you have to kind of do a little bit more digging. When you go to the top 9 posts of a hashtag that you're confident is niched down enough, you can look at what other hashtags users are using within the top 9. So if I do hashtag Instagram tips, I can look up hashtag Instagram tips, look at the top 9 posts and see what hashtags or what other hashtags those users use. Another option is that you can go to a competitor's profile or profile within your niche and see what sort of hashtags they're using and use those. This isn't like a surefire way of like finding the best niche hashtags, because you kind of have to just like use your judgment while looking at what other people are doing. You just kind of have to be like, hey, I think this is a good one. I can use hashtag Slayer app for this because they have the functionality where you can scan your competitor's profile and it will spit out or rank their top performing hashtags for you to use, which is pretty freaking awesome. So I do want to do a quick disclaimer or warning for when using hashtags, and that is to make sure you stay away from banned hashtags. Instagram has been cleaning certain hashtag groupings because they're either overpopulated or they've had content that has violated their community guidelines. So how can you check to see if a hashtag is banned? Go to the hashtag you want to use on Instagram. If you see this pop up, that means that this hashtag is temporarily or indefinitely banned. If you repeatedly use a banned hashtag, it can decrease your reach on your posts. All right, time for rapid fire. Hashtag best practices. Rapid fire. These are just like commonly asked questions when it comes to hashtags, hoping to answer these for you guys. So how many hashtags should you be using? There's a rumor going around that you should use 13 hashtags. Like this is the magical number, use 13. That's not true. You can use as many or as little as you'd like, as long as they are specific and niched down. If you could only find like 10 niche specific hashtags, just use 10. If you can get up to the full 30 and they're very specific and you're like, dang, these are good ones, you know, like if you could get all 30, use all 30, but there's no magic number, okay? Instagram gave you the ability to use 30 hashtags for a reason, and that reason is because you can. They're not gonna punish you for using more than 5 hashtags. If they didn't want you to use 5 hashtags, they would cap it at 5. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and tip number whatever 2, next rapid fire tip is to mix it up. Don't use the same hashtags over and over. You may have heard this before, but it also includes the order of the hashtags, okay? So there are hacks going around where you keep your hashtag groupings on your phone so you can copy and paste them over to Instagram, or you even create like a keyboard shortcut so it automatically does it for you, whatever. But the problem is that when you do that, the hashtags are in the same order every time. That is a no-no. You wanna always mix them up. You do want to mix these up because it can prevent you from being shadow banned, for lack of a better word to explain this, so don't hate me for saying shadow banned, it's just I have no other. Instagram has like a list of activity that can be considered flagging an account, a list if you like too many posts within 30 minutes, or if you heart too many comments within 30 minutes. Like there's a list of activity that can bring a flag to Instagram saying, hey, this account is being a little sus, and having repetitive hashtags can be suspicious bot-like behavior. So just be careful, okay? Next question is, should you be putting your hashtags in the captions or the comments? Well, if your goal is reach, to maximize reach, then put them in the caption when you post. When you put them in the comments, you miss a few sections where you could have popped up in the recent section on Instagram's hashtags result. If your ultimate goal is to maximize reach, include them in your caption. Next question, what if hashtags don't work for me? Here's the thing, hashtags work really, really well for some people, and then they don't work at all for other people. There isn't one thing that will magically have it work for everyone. We all have different account types, different numbers of followers, different niches. The best thing that you could do is test to see what works for you. If that's not hashtags, then focus on SEO and keywords. As I've been mentioning before in some of my previous videos, Instagram is starting to integrate the uses of keywords a little bit more, which might end up someday replacing hashtags. I don't know. Another thing you could try if your hashtags aren't working is a hashtag cleanse. For example, hashtags haven't been working for me since the US elections. When I would check my insights, I used to get results saying like, this was your reach with hashtags, this is how much you got with hashtags, but then all of a sudden it stopped and my posts stopped showing any sort of interactions from hashtags. And sure enough, looks like my account was shadow banned. I did have other people check this for me on their accounts where they would look up my content in hashtags I was using, and I wasn't being shown anywhere, so I'm doing a hashtag cleanse. So I'm finishing up my hashtag cleanse where I am not using any hashtags on in-feed posts for 60 days, and then I'll only use ones from hashtag Slayer moving forward. Speaking of hashtag Slayer, because this is a software I'm subscribed to and genuinely enjoy using, I asked them if I could get my viewers and subscribers a code that they can use and test out that website would be beneficial for them. With that being said, you can use the link below where you can try out hashtag Slayer app. They have a 7-day free trial, and you could use my code Millie50off1 for 50% off your first month. It's not sponsored. I just wanted to help you guys. I just wanted to give you guys a good deal. That was it. And I really like Matthew and Danica. They're really, really great. When you create an account on hashtag Slayer app, you do connect with Facebook, which is actually a good thing. Matthew talks about this and the process of getting his software approved by Facebook. He would have to send them software, algorithm, and all that information to Facebook for them to approve to integrate with Instagram. So he's gone through all the proper steps to get hashtag Slayer app to work in tandem with Instagram. I do think this is like the easiest headache-free way to find hashtags because I don't have to check every hashtag manually to make sure it's not banned. Like their software automatically filters that out. And I do have like 5 other friends that use their software and have only seen great results. So I'll include a few screenshots of their results. All of that being said, it's important to remember that hashtags are just a tool. They are a tool to help you. They're just a piece of the bigger puzzle when it comes to Instagram strategy. You should not be focusing all of your energy trying to figure them out because they alone will not make or break you on Instagram. You can absolutely have great engagement without the use of hashtags. I feel like everyone is looking for a one-size-fits-all hashtag strategy that'll magically work every time you post. Well, I don't mean to rain on your parade, but that magic formula just does not exist. Take a break, take a breath, get that pressure off yourself. You don't need to make sure that hashtag strategy is perfect, just it's not a big deal. If you made it this far and you're not already subscribed, nudge that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications to be notified when I post my videos. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Follow your joy. Bye.